Hello world, this is Brandon Pinkman. Sorry to interrupt your previously scheduled broadcast, but this is the action news, not just the news, action news. I'm going to bring it out to Brandon Redman on the scene. Hello world, this is Brandon Redman here. If you haven't heard from Brandon Pinkman yet, this is the news, not just the news, action news. Now, August 2nd and 4th, 1964. North Vietnamese have fired at U.S. ships, sinking them, killing U.S. citizens. This was an incident at the Gulf of Tonkin. Congress responds by having their own resolution to this incident. Now, before we actually show you this resolution that Congress has made, we at Action News Studios have prepared our own little clip of what might have happened at the Gulf of Tonkin. I know it didn't look like much to you, it might have just been a model ship sinking, but still, it means a lot to us as Americans. Now, Congress, with their speech. I'm turning the desk over to Brandon Blumen. What up, world? It's Brandon Blumen here at Action News, and not just the news, Action News. Now, I'm not a real big fan of action news, because I feel like everything can be settled through just talking, chilling out, and just having a good time. Now, Tonkin. What do we got going on there? Now, Congress has passed a resolution to this, to where we can actually send in more troops, more U.S. troops, by the hand of Lyndon B. Johnson, of course. Now, see, I think maybe about March of 1965, this will definitely happen. We're going to send more troops in, and we're going to be fighting the good fight. But fighting the good fight isn't always good when we don't really have a goal. That's right. Lyndon B. Johnson doesn't necessarily have a goal on winning this fight. See, and fighting a fight where you have no intention of winning is good and bad. I mean, I can see why he does it. It's because we can't always promote the American way in foreign countries that don't always need us. And it's really bad because we could stir up this fight, have something catastrophic go down, and boom, we're in it, and we'd have to be in it to win it. But that's not how we walked in, and that's definitely not how we're going to walk out. Now, I'm going to change the desk over to Brandon Greenman to more on this. Good day to you. It doesn't matter what time it is as long as it's time for action. And when I say action, I mean action news. Now, Lyndon B. Johnson. He's made his speech, acquired through futuristic technology, I might say. And with this speech, it's mainly a speech to his men and how poorly treated they were after the war, though his goals seemed great at the time. He never wanted the war to progress in America's favor. He always wanted it to be within the hands of the Vietnamese, because war that has started there must end there and nowhere else. Now, I turn it over to this video clip made by Action News Studio with the futuristic audio of Lyndon B. Johnson.
How many men who listen to me tonight have served their nation in other wars? How very many are not here to listen? The war in Vietnam is not like these other wars. Yet, finally, war is always the same. It is young men dying in the fullness of their promise. It is trying to kill a man that you do not even know well enough to hate. Therefore, to know war is to know that there is still madness in this world.
Touching stuff, Lyndon B. Johnson. And now, I wanted to say how when we fast forward through this horrible movie that we call a war, that veterans weren't treated the best. They were actually trashed and booed at, and it wasn't always the right reasons, and nobody always had the right side of the argument for this. We went here because it felt right to us as Americans. Now I'm turning the desk back over to Brandon Pinkman for the final words. Hello world, this is Brandon back at the desk with Action News. Now, we've talked about the war and how we all think other things. There is never a right side to this argument about who was right, who was wrong. Was it Lyndon B. Johnson who was right? Was it the American people who were right? Or anything. When we come to it, we all make mistakes, and the mistakes are here for us to learn. And I think that after Lyndon B. Johnson, every president who wants to start a war after him probably won't start a war. This isn't even a war. We haven't started a war since World War II. And I think after all the casualties and all things considered, everyone will think differently before starting a war with anyone. Now, back to your regularly broadcasted shows. Bye.